Welcome to your reset with Christiane Piano, where the purpose is to support you in releasing all that you are not, so the truth of who you really are can emerge. This is accomplished through working with the BodyMind from an ontological perspective. We use various modalities to support you in supporting yourself exactly where you are, so that you may return to an experience of wholeness and ease, moment by moment. Deep reflection is one of the greatest tools through which to do this. To take a moment, to pause, assess, reflect, and literally and figuratively reset, come back to center, and move back into your one and precious life with increased clarity and purpose. Hello, this is Christiane Piano, and this week's episode is a reflection on winter. The winter season is now in full swing. On the 21st of December, we transitioned from the fall season to the winter. And on the day of the winter solstice, the Earth's axle tilted position to the northern hemisphere at its farthest point from the sun, resulting in the least amount of daylight for the year. May this be a moment in time where you recognize the opportunity that stands before you to shift your self-care routine to meet your needs during this winter season. How to go about doing this has many variations, and we will get to that in a moment. But first, let's take a look at the significance of the winter solstice. Some consider it to be the moment the sun is born again. Ever since last year's winter solstice, the sun has grown, just like you. Each year the sun is born, reaching its height at the summer solstice, then declines through autumn, until its light finally dies on the darkest night, when simultaneously it is born again. So in a sense, what is possible at this moment in time is tapping into the energy of rebirth, transformation, creativity, new beginnings that will come forth in the springtime. Therefore, this is a wonderful moment to release unwanted habits, complete what needs to be completed, from tasks to conversations, or perhaps deciding to take on the work of diving into repeating patterns to get to the roots so that they may dissolve. This will afford you the opportunity to begin to hone and channel and focus your energy and time on what you would like to envision in the light of the next season of your life. Whether you think of season tied to the calendar or on a scale of life, this is the perfect time to examine and acknowledge your potential and start dreaming of all the things you would like to invite into your life, whether this be something you would like to achieve or simply a state of being. If you were to create moments for reflection and gain clarity on what you imagine your highest expression is, what would that look like? Perhaps pause and take a moment, now or upon completion of listening to this episode, to write this down on a piece of paper. And then take this piece of paper and continue to edit it until it resonates deep within the core of your being. And then place it in a place where you look often, be it on your bathroom mirror, your refrigerator, your desk, your bedside table. A place where you can be reminded of what you are choosing to live into now, your present moment life purpose. Remember that at any moment you can edit and rewrite. Each moment to be lived into a fresh start, beginning again and again. No matter how far you have moved off your path, no matter how many times you have gotten lost, no matter how many times you have fallen, you can use this as a bright light that guides you as you navigate your daily life. To make the most of this season, as spoken to earlier, there are things you can do concretely in your self-care routine that will prove supportive. You will want to create a foundation that will support your whole being. So the first question to ask yourself is, what is my relationship to winter? People usually either love the winter season or they hate it. Now, unless, of course, you're in a period of falling in love. Then you won't even notice or care what season it is. But if that is not the case for you, you will want to be truly honest with yourself without judgment. It is okay to not like a season. But if you can identify what you do not like, then you can create ways to make it enjoyable as you ride the wave. Not as a waiting for it to be over, but honing and channeling your energy to make the most of it, while at the same time taking really good care of yourself. Some components to consider that could possibly be set into place are the following. Nourishment. Ask yourself the question, how can I nourish myself nutritionally and emotionally? Something to consider, your vitamin D levels. The decrease in hours of sunlight can create an experience of melancholy and sadness. This is primarily due to a drop in serotonin levels, but not only. Paying attention to your vitamin D levels is essential. Why is it so important? Well, it helps strengthen your immune system, supports the health of your bones, and your overall psychological well-being. Some things to keep in mind. Fatty fishes like salmon and mackerel are naturally rich with vitamin D and also very tasty. Eggs are also a very rich source. The vitamin D is concentrated in the egg yolk. Dried mushrooms can be added to soups, salads, and pasta dishes. Dairy, such as whole milk, yogurt, and cereals, not the mass-produced boxed-up kind, will support maintaining your vitamin D levels, especially during this winter season. Raw artichokes and chicory with anchovies, with high-quality olive oil, is a wonderful dish to integrate vitamin D into your diet using healthy fats. Walking outside in the sunlight for at least 15 minutes a day helps produce vitamin D daily. Now, what about your emotional nourishment? What kinds of supports do you personally need in the winter season? Increased or decreased time spent with people? Could you use some conversations with a person you trust who will mirror for you and support a reset? Could you simply use a warm embrace from a dear friend or loved one? You know best where you are deficient in emotional nutrition. So play with this one as much as you can. It is an essential that often is not even considered. Rest and relaxation. What will that look like? It takes a lot of energy for birthing to occur in all forms. And this is the time of year where hibernation is invited. The deep rest and relaxation releases the fatigue of working so very hard. Space to simply be. Can you create spaces in time to do absolutely nothing but be, and recognize the courage it takes to do such a thing? In a world where one of the first questions you receive is, what are you up to? What are your plans? For you to answer, rest and recuperate. Just like a bear in hibernation, following the natural course of nature and doing so without a sense of guilt for whatever reason you may list. The state of being that accompanies deep rest and recoup is just as important as the fact of doing absolutely nothing. Now, this may seem easy, but you very well may know, if you have ever tried it before, it's hard work. Going within and allowing all that is, being with all that is. The accumulation of what's been shoved down during the busyness of daily life, the undealt with, the undigested, all of the unacknowledged experiences and emotions and perspectives that have grown from that. Well, let's say you could call it an energetic detox to allow for a complete body-mind reset. This is the perfect season to do such a thing. Be in stillness as much as possible. Even if you carve out 5 mini moments, 5-minute mini moments throughout your days and weeks, it will do wonders. And when you can, schedule in bigger chunks with a clear understanding of your why. Now, if you have a family, you can invite them to do the same, or at least explain what you are doing so that there is an understanding of what it is you are actually doing, especially when it may look like you're doing nothing from the outside. If you need support in this, you can ask for it. My own children, who are now full-blown adults, when they were younger, would look at me when they were little and suggest to me when they thought I needed to take a moment, Mom, why don't you go and practice? Mom, why don't you go and take a moment? And now that they are young men, we all have an understanding and a deep respect for when each of us needs a moment. There is a calm, quiet peacefulness in our home, and we each show up for each other, knowing that we all have different needs, and how we go about it may quite possibly be different, but we all need our own breathing room to just be. And so now it's just our norm. What's the norm in your home for allowing space to just be? Then there is sleep. Taking naps, resting in front of the fire, reading a good book, or listening to a beautiful song, or simply sitting in the quiet stillness, watching the snow fall, the birds in the sky, or the bright blue days when the sky is perfectly clear and the sun shines brightly and despite the cold air on your skin, you feel a sense of being regenerated within. Then there is the idle time. Idle time. Let's talk about idle time, shall we? So many people today have a faint remembrance as to what is idle time. Schedules are so jam-packed that idle time seems to be a luxury, and perhaps it is. But it is an essential to creativity and allowing yourself to time to simply be and breathe. Children need it just as much as teenagers and adults do. No matter what your age is, it is an essential. So my suggestion for those who say they don't have time, I say, then schedule it in. It is a fundamental to body-mind well-being. And although it may feel odd at first, uncomfortable, or strange, when you begin to reap the benefits, it will become your priority. You will become naturally proactive in your body-mind well-being when you begin to notice the added value it has in your experience of yourself, others, your life, and the world. The shifts are slow and small, but believe you me, when you look back over time, you will be in awe of the impact. And it is one of those things that you just don't believe it until you have experienced it. People tell me this all the time. It's not that I did not believe you, Christiane. It just seemed too good to be true. But now that I am experiencing it for myself, I just get it. I finally get it. And there is no turning back, as once you know how good you can feel in body-mind simultaneously, every time you fall off the way, you quickly notice it and get back on it as you have a new point of reference. So what's needed? Well, a desire to flourish in some or all areas of your life. A desire to move past the everyday getting by, surviving, and believing in the depths of your soul that there is so much more possible in life. It's called living. Unfortunately, living has gotten a bad rap. We have become so accustomed to equate drama with living. Drama is not living. Drama is simply the meaning our minds give to what happens to be unfolding in our lives. But we'll leave drama as a topic for another episode. Being proactive in your well-being will mean that you decide that your well-being is a priority, and it becomes a lifestyle. You become willing to nurture your whole being, attending to body and mind simultaneously. This will then naturally extend to your loved ones and family and support everyone in the winter season and beyond. Acknowledgement. Take the time to celebrate what you have created over the past year and begin to gain clarity on what you would like to create in this coming year. You will need energy to focus and stay on task, no matter how many tempting distractions appear. Take the time to recognize how much you have grown. Allow yourself to sit in that, the glorious growth. You did that. There is a very powerful energy present in this moment of the year. Sometimes this can be experienced as overwhelming, but it can also be experienced as energizing. What makes the difference? Well, your relationship to whatever it is you are relating to. So what is your vision? Your project? What is your focus? What is your one and precious life about today? The winter solstice is a moment in time where you can practice surrendering to the darkness while beginning to open up to the light and longer days. You can create mini moments as well as longer ones to bask in attending to your body-mind and prepare yourself for the lengthening of the days that lie ahead. It is a moment in time where you can complete what needs to be completed as the year draws to an end. Have those conversations with yourself. Be in the quiet stillness, whether that looks like spending time in nature or within your home. Create moments to release what is no longer serving you. If you have not yet listened to the episode on release, I highly suggest doing so. Remember that your past is a part of who you are, and it has taught you many lessons and allowed for numerous discoveries. All the moments you have lived up until now, this very moment, has shaped the expression of life that you are, your way of being. You can acknowledge what has been, be humbly grateful, and then release it, your past, behind you. Create moments where you close your eyes, stand tall, spine long and spacious, and with your head held high with humility, take deep, deep breaths and allow all of your knots to be released from the core of your being. Witness tiny, 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 tiny particles floating away from your back body, and with deep gratitude, acknowledge what has been, knowing that it has all been preparation for right now. Your past is a part of you. Your past is a part of you, but it does not have to be carried into your future, nor determine what is to come. If there was ever a time to get to the roots of your patterns and allow for them to dissolve, this is your time. As Oscar Wilde stated, wisdom comes with winters. May you allow this a period of darkness to prepare you for the light, remembering that they are two sides of the same coin. Honor the needs of your body-mind today. Listen deeply and bask in the stillness of this precious moment in time. I will leave you with this quote by Vivian White. December has the clarity, the simplicity, and the silence you need for the best fresh start of your life. May you find this season a season to enrich you. May you take the moments necessary for completion to bask in stillness and prepare for the next season. I do hope you found this episode supportive. Feel free to share it, like, or follow. I am excited to announce coming in January of 2025 is the Reflections Club. Please join me and a vibrant community of individuals from all over the globe who are passionate about the benefits of body-mind well-being. For more details, check out my website, www.christianepiano.com, and head on over to the podcast page for information on the ins and outs and how to join. I hope to see you with us.